All right, hey, Mike McGrory. It's February 9th here in Ohio. It's pretty cold today, probably around 20 degrees. I think it was like 12 or 15 degrees when I woke up this morning, 20 degrees outside. But I want to kind of give you an idea of what we have going on this time of year. Here in front of me, around me here, I've got 4 big boxes of plants. These are small trees that I purchased off of the West Coast. And I buy them this time of year. I don't like receiving them this time of year, but if I wait and have them delivered in March or early April, they're going to show up all leafed out because it's so much warmer on the West Coast. So I order these in the fall, and we schedule them for February delivery. That way I can get them and they're still completely dormant, the buds aren't swollen, and then I can keep them cool and keep them dormant because I really don't want them leafing out until about the 3rd week of April. So, what I want to do is I want to give you we're going to cover a couple of things. One of the, we always talk about plant sizes, expectations, prices, and then packing and shipping. And some excuse me, sometimes people have I think unrealistic expectations as far as how a plant should be effectively packed and shipped. Now, this company that I buy with from out on the West Coast, they've been in business for years and years. I've been buying from them from probably 15, 20 years. They do a great job. But I want to kind of show you, I don't know if we can see in this box, they don't go to a great deal of pains. Now, these right here, let me check the tag. This is red oak. These things are probably about maybe 12, 15 inches at the most. And to give you an idea, you can see that they're grown in kind of a plug tray. Matter of fact, you can see if you don't know if you see that, but there's an acorn right there. I picked some, here's acorns in here, the ones that didn't root. So, they actually sold them in a plug tray and then making them 12 or 15 inches. But I'm only paying about 70 cents a piece for these things. But when they ship them, they put them in a box like this, they're laid in here flat, and then they simply cover them with plastic like that and seal it up completely. Now there's moisture in this growing medium, so the roots are moist. And ideally when you're shipping plants, you want to keep the tops as dry as possible, but these don't have leaves on them. But the other thing they do is they ship really quickly. So this is UPS, I think they call it 3-day select from the West Coast. So I think they shipped them on Monday. We had them here in Ohio on Thursday. Now this box, these are Japanese red maple seedlings. Let me check the price. $1.15 a piece. These are nice sized plants. So that's almost 24 inches. That's a really nice 18 to 24 inch plant. So this is a Japanese red leaf Japanese maple. So when these things leaf out in the spring, they have beautiful red leaves on them. They're grown from seed. They're not grafted. That's why they're only $1.15 a piece. But as opposed to if I bought something that's grafted, I'm going to pay bare minimum $8 per plant. Or here I'm paying $1.15. But I want to show you this because online I saw somebody selling some Japanese maple seedlings. And they were $2, $2.50, $3, and they were only this tall. They were 3 to 6 inches. That's crazy. These things are $1.15, and they're not even grown in a plug tray. So I'm not sure how they grew them, but these are pretty much bare roots. So what I'm going to do is I got a couple of different methods of way I deal with bare root plants when I get them like this. Sometimes I'll just stand them up in the box just like this, and then I'll sprinkle potting soil or mulch, whatever I can get my hands on around the roots to keep them moist. Most importantly is I want to keep the tops cool. So sometimes I'll just do this right outside. I'll put a wooden box. Right now I'm struggling a little bit because everything that I have as far as bark or mulch or potting soil is frozen hard as a rock. So I bought a few bags of potting soil, and that's probably what I'll do is I'll stand these up just like this and then make sure that the roots don't dry out. So I'll put the soil around the roots, put that plastic around there best I can, and then I'll keep these tops. I don't want them any warmer than 40, 45 degrees because I don't want them to leaf out until April. So anyway, that's the Japanese maple. These are Chinese dogwoods. There's also white dogwoods in here. Let me find them on here real quick. So the white dogwoods I paid 95 cents for, and the Chinese dogwoods I paid 85 cents. So these are the Chinese Cornus cusa. So this is a Chinese dogwood. And again, probably a good 18-inch plant. So really, really nice plants for 85 cents. And that's why I'm showing you this, is because sometimes people don't know how to value what they're selling. This is what a wholesale buyer would expect to receive for, you know, 85 cents a dollar a piece. Now, of course, the company that I'm dealing with, they do have a minimum, and their minimum is either $400 or $500. So your minimum order has to be $400 or $500. I have in this collection here, I've got 2,100 trees. I think my invoice was $1,790, almost $1,800. So my average for everything I have in these boxes is less than $1 a tree. But what's really instructive is the way they ship these things from the West Coast. My freight was about $450, but it still works out to 23 cents a tree. So for this Japanese maple, I got $1.15 plus 23 cents. I'm still less than $1.50. I'm going to put that thing in a plastic container that's probably going to cost me 15 cents and maybe 10 cents worth of potting soil around it. And I sell them usually for $5.97. If I ship them up into a bigger container, then they go up. They go from $5.97 to $39 like that. So, but this year, once they leaf out, they get rooted in, I can easily get $5.97. And then in another year or so, if I ship them into 2-gallon, I'll get $39 for them. And you know, people are happy to pay that. But so anyway, I wanted to cover the shipping. So this is basically how they were doing them. They're not individually wrapping every package of roots. All their goal is to get them to me with moist roots and relatively dry tops. And then once they're in my hands, I've got to get them stood upright, like I said. I'll stand them upright in the box, just like this, and then put some soil and stuff around there so the roots stay moist. And then I'll keep them nice and as cool as I possibly can until we can get them potted up as soon as everything thaws out there. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you as far as plant sizes, expectations, shipping. Dustin, anything else that we needed to cover here?
I don't think so.
So in other words, 4 boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, 2,100 plants in 4 boxes. So, because I bought some stuff from somebody online. I bought 125 plants, and they sent them in 5 different boxes. And it cost me 65 cents per plant for a daylily plug. It's okay, but all in one box, I could have saved a little bit on freight. And you know, in business, every penny matters because you're trying to squeeze a profit out of everything you buy. So, all right, I think we've pretty much covered it. If you happen to be in our members area, then you have in the resources, we have a wholesale directory. This company is listed in there. I'm not going to share this with the world because they are wholesale only. Like I said, you know, you can't call them up and ask them questions. That's not how they do business. They sell millions of dollars worth of plants. They do a very, very good job. Their minimum, last I knew, was either $400 or $500 plus freight. So you have to be ready to make that kind of commitment. Now, if you're not ready to make that kind of commitment, we do have members who sell. We have members that will buy these things. They'll mark them up a little bit and sell them in smaller quantities. So those people who can't meet that minimum can always buy them. They're just going to pay, you know, maybe $2.50 for this thing, but you can buy 5, 10 that way. So. And all of that happens, you know, in our members area. If you're a customer, then you know all about that. So, all right, I'm gonna check out here and get my plants put away. All right, I got everything unpacked. I've stood everything up. I put it right back in the boxes that it came in. Now these boxes are lined with plastic, and then I took whatever packing material was in there, put it over top of the roots. And then I took this bag potting soil that I bought, which is got a lot of peat and perlite. It's pretty fluffy, and I put that on top of the roots. The only thing that I'm going to do now is just take a watering can and wet everything real good. This corner of the building here should stay around 40 degrees, so they should be good over here. I put them on pallets. That way, as soon as I'm ready to get them over to the nursery, we can just pick the pallet up with a forklift and slide it in the back of my truck, because these cardboard boxes aren't going to be worth much here, you know, in a week or so after being in here all damp and wet and stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much how I'm going to heal these in for now. And then they'll probably go right from here into a container into the nursery. So just kind of thought I'd share with you after I got everything unpacked and ready ready to rest for about a month or so.